Walk in his ways, impact voice. Walk in his ways, impact voice.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Walking This Ways Impact Voice podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr., along with the Mafia, the family, of course, with Coach Shae, Kenny Primetime Williams. We're back with you once again on this great Tuesday night. It is now the 8th, November 8th, 2022. This year is gone by. You have to ask yourself, what have you done for this 11th month of 2022? Are you where you want to be at? Or are you still in January 1 of 2022? You have to ask yourself that question. Is you where you need to be at? Have you made some necessary changes? Or you just one-on-one, just wish upon a star, knowing that stuff is not going to happen, not put in the work, not put into action. You have to make stuff happen. Well, of course, we're live streaming tonight here on Facebook Live. So you're watching us. Get the hearts up, get the likes up, share with everybody that you know. We're very excited about our guest tonight, Sabrena Ford. She's the founder of Hidden Images podcast here in the DFW area. She's a very creative young woman, podcasting, photography, organizer, you name it. She's really all about making an impact in the community. We're glad to see positive men and women doing extraordinary things as well. And she keeps pushing, keeps grinding. So she'll share some knowledge with us tonight as well, also about her photographs and the stuff that she does with her photography. So if you're interested, hey, this is going to be something you're really going to learn, especially for the ladies, because you know what? We love you, ladies. You know, you got to have it for the ladies. So big shout out to the women as well. Big shout out to the fellas as well. And of course, you know, we got some great segments tonight. Another jam-packed episode. Before I get started, I want to ask the crew how they doing. Like, Shae, how you doing? Hope you had a great day. I know you did. Ken, I know you had a great day as well. No, go ahead and introduce yourselves to the audience as well. So, you know, being a gentleman, of course. So I'll kick it off with my sister, Coach Shae. So, Shae, introduce yourself to the audience. For those who know you, already know you, but you know you for the very first time here on Walking This Way Impact Voice podcast.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Coach Shae. I am your fitness guru here on the podcast. Also, for the entertainment news here as well. I'm here to lead, educate, motivate, and inspire you to become the better version of yourself. That is what I do.
And awesome. Then we got the another coach himself. We got Kenny Primetime Williams. You know, he is the sports analyst here on the podcast as well. So, Kenny, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience of those who already know you, but knowing you for the very first time here. And we're going to have fun tonight. You muted.
Mikey, my bad. Hello, everybody. My name is I'm your sports segment host, Kenny Primetime Williams. I'm here to give you the latest in sports news, the latest in sports world. A lot of great things are going on. We can't wait till to get started tonight in the Prime Zone. So we're hoping everybody comes on here ready to listen, learn. We're excited about our special guest. So we're ready to have a great night.
Awesome stuff. And like I said, we are live streaming right now. We thank everybody that's in the comment section. Big shout out to DeQuan Jones. He's actually part of the crew now on Wednesday nights with me. So big shout out to him. He's in the comment section. Big shout out to Constant Hughes that's in the comment section that's watching with us now. If you have questions, put a Q in the comment section. If you want to text, put a T. If you want to know, you want to ask questions, you have some concerns, you want to do some shout outs, you can do that as well. So before we get started with the show tonight with Miss Ford, we got Coach Shae with the latest entertainment news. And after that, we're going to kick it off with Kenny, because we know that, of course, I got to represent my Cowboys. So they had a bye week. They go play back Sunday. They playing the Packers this coming Sunday. Even though I'll be at work, but I'm still going to try to catch the game. But go ahead, Shae, with the latest entertainment news with your celebrity tea.
Hello, you guys. So I'm coming to you with the celebrity tea. For my first breaking news, y'all. Breaking news. I don't know if y'all knew this, but I definitely didn't know. I was surprised to find out one of my favorite stars in the world is on child support. She is a female, by the way. One of my all-time favorite celebrities, Halle Berry, y'all. Miss Halle Berry has been on child support since 2014. She's never went public about this at all until last year. She put out a little story about it. She said that she's really being extorted. Baby girl have been paying $16,000 a month, ever since she's been on child support. She said, at this point, it's extortion. I need this to be cut in half. So she was granted, the court granted her payments to go down to half a month. So now she's down paying $8,000 a month. She has 2 children. Nyla is 13 and Maceo is 7. So y'all kind of do the math and go back and see how long she been on child support, how young they was when they haven't been in with her. She have joint custody of the children, but she still has to pay their tuition and their medical bills. So definitely, I want to hear y'all comments. If you watching this on YouTube, definitely comment. What do y'all think about Halle Berry being on child support, and how do y'all feel like she don't bash her dudes like how a lot of these men go crazy because their baby mama put them on child support? She didn't immediately go to the tabloids about this. So definitely leave some comments. Tell me how you feel about this, because women do be on child support too, y'all. In other news, RIP to rapper Takeoff. I didn't get to come on here last Tuesday and give my condolences to rapper Takeoff. He was fatally in Houston. He was fatally shot in Houston on November the 1st. He didn't make it. One of the Migos, actually one of my favorite Migos. I love the Migos. I really didn't realize how much I listened to them working out until this happened. So RIP to Takeoff. Also, singer Aaron Carter died at the age of 34, y'all. No cause of death has been reported as of yet, but they said that they found him unresponsive in the bathtub. We know these kind of situations usually is very common for it to be drug related. So RIP to Aaron Carter, because I love the Backstreet Boys and I loved NSYNC back in those days. Also, shocking news, but not so shocking, but Kanye. Y'all know I keep y'all updated on the Kanye issue. Kanye is no longer a billionaire, y'all. He's no longer a billionaire. As a matter of fact, his current net worth is at $4 million right now, according to Forbes. It's also rumored that he's been dropped from Def Jam Records, according to Entertainment Tonight. So Kanye is no longer a billionaire. His net worth is dropped all the way from $2 billion to $4 million. Y'all definitely tell me how y'all feel about that as well. My last story that I wanted to cover was Amber Geyer. It was a very popular story here in Dallas, Texas. Police officer walks into Bottom Jean's house, 2018, fatally shoots this man in his own apartment and claims that it was hers and that she really, really thought that it was her apartment and that he was an intruder. This woman has sent several appeals to the Supreme Court. She sent her last appeal this past week and it was denied. All of her appeals have been denied. I'm really glad about that. So she has 10 years and she has to do that time. They are not releasing her. So y'all definitely tell me what y'all feel about it. Y'all feel like she was lying? Like do y'all feel like she knew that wasn't her apartment? I definitely feel like she knew that wasn't her apartment. She know a black man wouldn't have been in her apartment either. A lot of people say that they were dating. There was rumors going around that they were dating and she was upset because he didn't want to date her anymore. It was craziness going around at that time with those allegations. But that is the spiel that I have for that celebrity tea for you guys today.
Awesome, Shae. Thank you for the latest entertainment. Of course, it's going on in our world. We know a lot of stuff is going on in our world. You know that. Most important thing, you know, the beautiful thing about life, we can create our own universe. That's what it's all about. You can create your own world. You can build this kingdom. You can build this empire. You can create the stuff that you want to create in your life. I said this last week on the show. You know how we used to worry about the future? This changed my mindset. This shifted something in me. Don't worry about the future. Correct your present. Whatever you want to improve in your present, do it now. Your future's going to take care of itself. Once you improve on the things you want to do right now, your future going to be bright. If you don't, you're just going to repeat the same thing in the future. So be mindful and just examine yourself. Take a step back and realize things you want to change. Now we'll go any further. We got Kenny Primetime. We're back with us tonight with the latest sports news and updates. I hate that Alabama lost to LSU this past Saturday. The quarterback sucks. Forget you, Kenny. And but you know what? The Cowboys play this coming Sunday. We should beat the Packers, of course, even though we're on the road. But Kenny, go ahead and take it away with the latest sports news.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Thank you for tuning in for another episode for Walking in His Ways podcast. You are now at the sports segment. You have now entered the prime zone. And what's some news? I have to tell you some news that I enjoy sharing. Also some news that some of the viewers may not like it so well, may even comment and say a little thing. That's okay. That's okay. I'm all here for it all. Before I start off with any news, with anything that's going off in the sports world, I want to give shout out to my city of Dallas, Texas. I want to give shout out to Mobile, Alabama, the Mississippi Gulf Coast and surrounding areas, my hometown of the state of Mississippi by way of Greenville, Mississippi, and everybody that's watching on the sound of my voice. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now that we got that out the way, breaking news. It just makes my heart feel pure. Mr. Jackson said it earlier. Alabama loses again. They lose again. And as we are on this show right now, the college rankings are being out right now, and your team, the Alabama Roll Tide, is at rank number 9, which puts them almost out of playoff rankings or playoff berth for the first time. I am very happy about that. There's still a chance that they can get in the playoff, but they're gonna need some help along the way. But I'm, for one, am not a Roll Tide fan. I'm not an Alabama fan. I'm not a Nick Saban fan. I love the fact when he gets up and he goes off the week after they done lost. He's had several press conferences, and they have not been good. He has blamed everybody but the people that actually lost the game, which is his team. So big up to Alabama. Appreciate the loss. It makes my weekend great. I went to church happy. I woke up Monday morning happy. Everybody that I knew that was a Roll Tide fan really not speaking to me now, either on Facebook or in person, and that's fine. I'm glad about that because this is a new day, a new dawn, a new day. Now, we're going to get away from the Roll Tide. We're going to roll away from the Tide, and we're going to talk about Kyrie Irving. Now, I had a discussion today with some people around at the job today about Kyrie Irving, and a lot of things were put in place. As you know already, Kyrie Irving has been suspended from the Brooklyn Nets again because he's broken some rules. He said some things on his Twitter that was involving autistic children. He promoted some things concerning a movie, and a lot of people were ticked off about it. A lot of people was very dismayed behind it, including the NBA. He met with Commissioner Adam Silver today, and things didn't go so well. But the point I'm trying to make, a lot of people was pointing out that there's nothing wrong with Kyrie expressing his feelings or standing up for what he believes. And that's true. But how many chances are we going to give this athlete? You know, last year we had the problem with him not wanting to be vaccinated when COVID was going out, and it caused a lot of drama and caused a lot of problems for the team. In the result, the head coach, Steve Nash, was fired on last week. Kyrie Irving did have some sign-off and input about that. Now this year comes along with the allegation he has come out and said he has apologized. He has erased his tweet. But the point I was trying to make, what difference is Kyrie giving all these chances and speaking his mind and standing up for what he believes and able to have options to have a 6-game suspension, banned away from the team? Now, why we didn't give Colin Kaepernick that option? Why we didn't give Colin Kaepernick a chance? And he stood up for what he believed. And that was our brothers and sisters. He stood up for black people, and he didn't get a chance. But Kyrie Irving, which is a black man as well. And he's had so many chance after chance after chance after chance. And there was a good debate today. So that's the current thing right now with Kyrie Irving. He is suspended from the Brooklyn Nets for 6 games. He is banned from the facility. He's not able to practice nor able to play in games until his 6-game suspension is up. And he's also suspended without pay. Now, let's move on to the NFL. Things are looking really shaky coming up past the midway part of the season. We're getting ready to start talking about playoff time. You know, December is right around the corner with a lot of wild cards. We got a lot of people putting in place, including my Dallas Cowboys. No, you're right. We had a bye this past week and we didn't play, and it also felt kind of, different that on Sunday I didn't see my boys out there playing, but I was still happy because the Roll Tide lost, so I was able to continue to go on and go on. And so now my anticipation has gotten bigger for Sunday when we play the Packers. The Packers should be a great game. We're coming out on paper. We are the way better team. We are a 10-point favorite to beat the Packers, and that's pretty great for the sports book, for you people that love to bet. The Cowboys are favorite to win. The Green Bay Packers are dealing with a lot of issues, not only with personnel, but with injuries as well. A lot of their starters are out. A lot of their starters are questionable, and a lot of their players don't know if they're going to play this coming Sunday. So whatever it is, you got to strap it up, dress it up, and get out there and play what you got. So we look forward to that game against Green Bay and Dallas on Saturday, 3:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Be there. I know I will. I know Mr. Furman will. I hope all you other Dallas Texians be in attendance or tune in at your favorite place, no matter what it is, because our Cowboys are rocking this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in February. And everybody knows what goes on in February. There's only one game in February. All right. Now, we're going to move on to the baseball. I want to send my great congratulations to the city of Houston, Texas. The Houston Astros are now the National ML Baseball League world champions. I was rooting for the Phillies. I used to live in Houston, and I had a lot of debates with family members, friends that I knew back in Houston. I wasn't rooting for the Astros at all, but they pulled it out, got the win, had a parade on today. It was lovely. I wish I could show you graphics of it, but in Walking This Way podcast, we're getting bigger and better and greater, and we'll have all that info for you just as soon as things come along. With our guest tonight, she's hearing us. Hey, she might put us in and have us right where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? But again, big ups to the Houston Astros on winning your championship and everything. Everybody in Houston, be safe. A lot of things is going on in the sports world, even in the regular world. So everything you do, please be safe at what you do. That's my time, ladies and gentlemen. I love you. God bless you. There's nothing you can do about it. Thanks for tuning in for the Prime Zone. Thank you for our special guest on tonight. We look forward to you and all the viewers. Back to you, Mr. Furman.
Hey, appreciate Kenny with the latest sports news and updates. And like I said, we thank everybody that is tuning in with us tonight here on Walking This Way Impact Wars podcast. So we encourage you to get the likes up, get the shares up, get the hearts up, and want y'all to engage with us. You know what I mean? We thank everybody for being in the comment section. We thank everybody for tuning in. We thank everybody for sharing. And also, you see, if you're watching us right now as we live stream, of course, on Facebook Live, you see underneath the live feed, it is a star. So if you click on that star is because we're monetized now here on Facebook with the podcast. Every time you click a star, we get paid for, we get money for it. So support us on that. We thank everybody for their support. We just thank everybody for tuning in. We thank everybody for just being a part of this movement, being a part of the transitioning, being part of just extraordinary people like Sabrena herself, extraordinary woman who doing extraordinary things. And we're very excited to have people like her come on here, bring positive content to really, I won't say motivate, but to really challenge you the way you think, to really, you have to ask yourself these questions: where you want to be at? Where do you see yourself at? Are you satisfied where you at? This stuff we have to ask ourselves. Before I got onto tonight's show, and I just want to read something before we get off into this interview with Sabrena, I was just looking at something, and I'm not going to read all of it, but it's just something that really stuck out to me. It says, so the 2% of people that want to see me stay blind, deaf, and driven by stupidity. They mean nothing to me, and their opinions hold no weight. And when you're ready to change yourself, I'm going to say that again. And when you are ready to change yourself, you have to be ready to go through the same thing. If you find yourself in a situation where someone is trying to hold you back from succeeding in life, keep holding on and marching with your head to the sky and your eyes on the prize, success. And I'm going to read that one more time. When you are ready to change yourself, you have to be ready to go through the same thing. You have to find yourself in a situation where someone is trying to hold you back from succeeding in life. Keep holding on and marching with your head to the sky and your eyes on the prize. It says you're always going to try to have somebody go try to hold you back, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's co-workers, whether it's a significant other. You're going to try to have someone hold you back when you want to make change. But you keep marching on. You keep focused on the prize. I'm going a little bit further. It said, let no one stop your destiny. What is your destiny? What is your destiny? You let no one stop your destiny. But always remember, you're going to have people that's going to come against you. You already know that. Even the Bible tells you that you're going to have persecution. But it says this, continue to grow and educate yourself. Continue to grow and educate yourself. Remember, we're supposed to evolve every day. Some people stop evolving, but that's their choice. But you got to constantly evolve. So you let no one stop your destiny. You let no one hold you back. Don't be a slave to other people's opinions about you. Know yourself, love yourself, value yourself, know who you are. Once you know who you are and once you value yourself, nobody cannot stop you. Nobody cannot take away you. It's you. You is you. Nobody can stop you but you. Don't blame this man, this woman, that woman. Because you got a lot of people now in this world, they blame everybody else for their failures in life. It's your fault I'm not here. It's your fault. No. It's your fault because you allow things, you allow situations to steer you from who you are. So remember, let no one stop you. So before we go any further, I want my guest to introduce herself tonight. She took time out of her productive schedule to be here on the show, introduce herself that she's got going on here in the DFW area. I want her to go ahead and introduce herself to the audience that's watching us right now. So Sabrena, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience. Let everybody know who you are, what you got going on. How can they plug in? How can they be involved? So, hey, the mic is yours.
Well, okay. I'll do what I do best and talk. How are y'all doing? Thank y'all so much, Furman. I really appreciate you. I know this is my second time hopping on your podcast, and I really appreciate you. Thank you, Coach Shae. Thank you, Kenny. Y'all are awesome. I love the dynamic that you guys have. And it is so important that working as a team that y'all have that dynamic and you're able just to collaborate and work together. And I just love it. So thank y'all so much for having me on a second time. And it won't be my last. So I'll be back again. I'm already making plans for next year to come back.
Awesome stuff.
But, I'm Sabrena Ford. I'm the founder of several businesses. I own Images You Can Hold Photography, which is just my main photography, headshots, family, Christmas, holiday portraits, events, things like that. Then I also have a spinoff, Images You Can Hold Photography, Boudoir, which we'll talk more about my boudoir photography. I'm also the founder of Women with Purpose Tour, which is an empowerment tour for women entrepreneurs to come together in a collaborative measures and just help each other grow and scale our brands. And then also I have a podcast as well. My podcast is called Hidden Images Podcast, where I specifically try to interview Black and Hispanic entrepreneurs just to give us that platform to where we can just sit down, talk, share our brands. Same thing that you guys are doing here for me. I really appreciate it. That's what we do on Hidden Images Podcast as well. And so my podcast airs every Monday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Next Level Internet Radio. You can also catch it on YouTube, Hidden Images Podcast. Also Instagram, Facebook, Hidden Images Podcast. Same thing there. But back to the boudoir photography, because I really kind of want to get the word out about boudoir photography. I want to get my name out there about boudoir photography. And I don't think a lot of people know exactly what boudoir photography is. Because I know you and I were talking before we hopped on the podcast.
Right.
From you, like, what is it? and I get it a lot. And so pretty much boudoir photography is it's a risque type photography. Traditionally, it's women who take more intimate photos, traditionally for their husband right before the wedding or whatever the case may be. That's traditionally what boudoir photography is. And you could do couples boudoir photography, solo, it could be men, it could be women. It's not just for women, but it's definitely a more intimate setting with lingerie, sometimes naked. I myself have done several boudoir photography photos. What does boudoir mean? Boudoir really it doesn't it's the type of photography. It doesn't necessarily have a meaning to it. It's the type of photography. And so it started in the French. And so boudoir photography, it really means to soak. Like there's a boudoir room that women used to go to just to sit and soak in. It's just like a women's dressing room or a women's just a boudoir room. Even let me see, how can I put it? Just a more intimate setting. That's all it is. Just think intimate and risque, lingerie, sometimes naked. I've done several boudoir sessions myself with lingerie and without lingerie. So it's definitely different. You have to be comfortable with who you are to do the boudoir photography. A lot of women aren't comfortable, but that's my job, as a photographer, is to build your confidence up. It doesn't matter your shape, size, color. You are a boudoir model. You are a potential client. It doesn't matter. In fact, in the French, when it started, those were the women that they wanted to photograph, were bigger women, thick madames, right? Mm-hmm. So we've changed things, when it comes to what we see, of course, on TV. You see women, more thinner women, flaunting lingerie or flaunting, a bra, nice lace panty set, and now we're kind of starting to see the trend of, the inclusion of thicker women, plus size women. But yeah, the French, they wanted to photograph. The bigger, the better. And so I even wrote an article on the art of the boudoir photography. And that's one of the things that I wrote in my article, is that it's not about being the skinniest. It's not about being the prettiest. It's just about feeling comfortable in your own skin. And that's all it's about.
Awesome. And that's awesome. So basically just the whole concept is just embracing who you are.
Yeah.
Being comfortable in your heart and just embracing your sexuality, just embracing who you are. So that's awesome. And that's that's actually been going around as of late, being comfortable, one with yourself. And a lot of times it comes with the shame, the guilt of not loving ourselves, not embracing ourselves. I know just being you, just embracing you, embracing who you are, loving yourself. And that's what people need to hear. And and that's what it's all about. Shae asked, how do a shoot with men? She asked, how do men have
I ever shot a man? Yeah, I've shot one male boudoir photography. It turned out great. He liked his photos. He was just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe, okay, this looks good. Yes, of course. That's my job. And one thing I want people to know, I really want people to know, I want my audience to know, your audience, any woman out there, is your boudoir photos and session can and will remain private if you want them to. Just because I post my boudoir pictures naked, whatever, with lingerie, that does not mean that any of my clients have to have their pictures posted. And I think that is so important for people to know, because you have to trust your boudoir photographer. You have to. If you sign that paper and you say, I don't want any of these pictures shared, they're all for me, then that photographer should not be sharing photos online. Now, once you start sharing them online, okay, then that gives me free game. Okay, she shared it, so I can go and share a few, or at least the ones that she shared. But I really want people to know that you do not have to share them online. They're totally up to you, to whatever you want to do with your pictures. Again, just because I share mine, I have to share mine because that's my way of advertising, right? So if I'm not taking boudoir portraits, how can I show or tell another woman, hey, look at what I've done? Even as a boudoir photographer, I took a boudoir session, or I did a boudoir session on my birthday with another photographer. And when I got my photos, I literally cried. Like I didn't even know I could see myself in that capacity, that beautiful. I've never done a boudoir session where I was just fully just naked. And when I saw those pictures, like I was just in tears, even as a photographer. And I had a lunch session with a client that I had shot. Actually, I'm gonna pull this up. Her name is Christina. We did a boudoir session about a little bit over a year ago. Now, I hope y'all can see that. I got my ring light on. So
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it looks, you can see it from here.
But we did a boudoir session about a year ago, and we had lunch maybe about a month ago now, maybe two. And I didn't know how much I inspired her, how much joy, how much happiness I put into her heart, until we sat at that table and we literally cried together because of how that photo shoot made her feel. The fact that she was in a vulnerable state before we took the pictures. She's going through transitioning from, losing weight and just stepping out of her own comfort zone. And for me just to come in and say, hey, yes, you're beautiful. I want to capture you. Let me show you. And when she got her pictures back, I didn't know until a whole year later how much I impacted her. And I had to tell her the same thing. I understand, because when I took my pictures and I got them back, I felt the same way. So it's really definitely an experience. Every woman should experience a boudoir session at least once in her lifetime, and I highly would encourage it. The one thing I would tell people is just research your photographer, find a trusted photographer. If you're comfortable with the female photographer, great. I'm the one you should pick anyway. I'm your photographer. But there are plenty other male photographers that are trustworthy, that you can choose from. And I do. Calvin Brown Photography, he's in Fort Worth, Texas. He's my boudoir photographer. I probably wouldn't let another photographer shoot me in that type of setting. I only trust him. And that is okay to have one photographer that you trust that will shoot you in a boudoir setting.
Awesome. And Shae asked a question too. What did she ask? She's asked, do you show people how to pose?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what we do as boudoir photographers. That's what I do. Show you how to pose. And the one thing I tell people when they're posing is, if it hurts, that means you're doing it right. It's like, even for me, when I was posing for Calvin, I'm like, Calvin, I can't hold this pose much longer. But yes, I definitely show you how to pose. And that's just one of the things that I purposefully try to implement in each of my sessions is how intricate, how far can I push you with these poses? Because I really want the boudoir poses. For me, there's a difference between elegant boudoir and just raunchy, half-naked photos. Mm-hmm. The boudoir, the elegance, that's the big difference of it. It's the gracefulness that you see. You're not like, I wish I could pose now, but just I wish I could show y'all different poses. But there's an elegance and a grace about boudoir photography, and those are elements that I try to implement, because when you get your pictures from me, I want you to have the same feeling that I had when I got my pictures.
And and that's awesome. I'm just sitting here just thinking that you're talking. This like could be great gifts for their significant other. Well, wives to go, girlfriends, whatever, want to take
Yeah.
these pictures for their husbands, whatever, boyfriends.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a great thing for couples to do.
Yeah.
Just what I'm saying, just embrace it. But the whole concept is, having these women embrace themselves, loving who they are. You don't have to put on this image, okay, I gotta look like how the world want me to look. You just look how you want to look. You don't have to go along with the trend, but being comfortable who you are.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. I know you mentioned earlier that the picture that you do with your clients are private. So is there like a contract in place, an agreement in place and stuff like that?
Yes.
So
definitely with the boudoir photography, I always make sure that I outline a contract, and it's different from just regular like graduation photos. Yes, you have a contract for that, but stuff like that really doesn't necessarily need to be written and outlined. But when it comes to boudoir, it's different, because it's personal, it's intimate, it's private, and I definitely don't want anybody's photos leaking from my computer, my behalf, or just accidentally uploading them, and then boom, I'm in trouble. So, yes, boudoir sessions, I treat them delicately and completely different from my like event photography, graduation, even maternity photos. It's just a separate lane. That's why I have it in a separate lane. I have the images you can hold, and then the boudoir side is its own entity.
Man, that's what's up right there. And I got to come in the comment section. Daquan Jones say it can't spark the fire, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yes. That's why a lot of women do it like as a wedding gift for their husband. Like a lot of women will do it like for their like a bachelorette party, or the bridal shower, things like that, just before the wedding, and just have it ready as a gift for him on his wedding night. And a lot of women add on pictures, photo albums, pillows, canvases, just other add-on products, just to solidify that package in that boudoir session that they did.
Yeah, and that's what's up right there. I mean, yeah, just the aspect of it, just the like I said, the loving you, the embracing you.
Yes.
You sharing this stuff with someone you really care about, love about, and they love you for you. And really it's like, wow, this is beautiful. This is art. It's like, wow. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all about. So how long have you been in the photography business? And I know you've been going strong with that. So how long have you been in this arena of photography?
Not long, actually. I started like a lot of people in the pandemic. I picked up a camera, and from there, it was for me finding ways to be different and innovative. And photography is such a saturated business. I had to find my own lane, and so I chose boudoir photography, because there's not a lot of Black female boudoir photographies. And if you Google boudoir, there's not a lot of us even on the internet that are models of boudoir photography. So that's why I wanted to choose a different niche. I didn't want to go into wedding. I didn't want to go into just strictly branding and business. I wanted to choose something different and unique, and boudoir photography was out there. And plus, even doing it, I found things out about myself. That's what's so cool about starting new things. I didn't know I was a boudoir model. Like, I take great photos, but I didn't know that until I stepped out of my own comfort zone. Like, I'm telling you guys, 3-4 years ago, I never would have thought to take a boudoir session, let alone a fully naked. But yes, I am great at it. And in fact, I'm really good at it. And I didn't know that until I stepped out of my comfort zone and I just started doing it. So That's why I would encourage any woman at least once in your lifetime, men too, couples as well, treat yourself to a boudoir session. You know, some of them are more expensive, just depends. I have two types of boudoir sessions. I have my full service boudoir session, which comes with hair. I'll book your hair appointment for you, your nail, not your nail appointment, hair, makeup, also with false lashes. The studio will be booked, assistant, posing guidelines, the whole 9 yards. And then I have my mini boudoir session that pretty much just comes with me showing up. You're going to book the studio. You're going to already have your makeup and hair done, whatever you want. You're going to already have that. I'm just going to show up, take your photos, and then deliver your photos.
Okay, awesome, man, awesome. And I'm looking at some comments too. The Quan said professional as it should be, real boss work.
Thank
Then he
you. Thank
said
you.
one package deal. So like I said, just the work, the art. Like I said, I just look at you just fall in love with you, just re-fall in love with yourself.
Yes.
You're not reinventing. I heard something the other day. You should not reinvent yourself. You should learn yourself. And
Yes.
that's what
Tap
we're
into who
doing.
you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we want to reinvent, but how you gonna reinvent? You never learned the original you. So learning yourself, and like you said, it happened in the pandemic, and it's just something that you just start doing, which was already in you, but you just put it out of you, and it just manifests in the work that you do, and it's rich. So how can people plug in? How can they set up a session? And do you understand? I know you do out of town work too, because I know you did something in Houston. So how can people set up a session with you? How do they go about doing that?
Right now, my boudoir photography is pretty much strictly on my website, Images You Can Hold Photography, boudoir.com. I haven't tapped into social media platforms yet because a lot of the clients, they want to keep it private. So the photos that I have online on my website are, of course, mostly me, clients that have signed that photo release form that say, hey, yes, you can share my work. But I will create a Instagram for the boudoir here soon. But right now, it's just Images You Can Hold Photography, boudoir.com. You can book a session through my website. You can also just inbox me personally, Sabrena Ford, any of my social platforms. We can talk business about anything on there. So wherever you find me on social media, even on the podcast, Hidden Images, I'll be more than happy to discuss boudoir with you there as well. But of course, mainly my website.
Okay, awesome. And I know besides that, I mean, you have your own podcast as well, which you do every Monday, and you live streaming on Facebook Live, Instagram. How did it all come about getting into the world of podcasting?
Well, actually, the podcast is a spinoff of what I started, because I started originally it being a magazine, and I was hitting up entrepreneurs and just, can I do an article? Can I interview you? And I would just put it in article form, and then I'd post it on the website, Hidden Images Digital Magazine. But then a lot of people aren't reading these days. Like I'm paying attention to the analytics side of my business, and I'll be honest, the articles weren't working. But as soon as I started the podcast, oh yeah, everybody caught on quickly, and it gravitated because with the podcast, it's more of a visual. As people talking, we're connecting, we're laughing, you can hear it, you can see it, you can share it. And so I still do the articles. I still write articles on people, but I've kind of made it more of one entity. So it's Hidden Images Podcast and Magazine. So again, every Monday, it's 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Next Level Internet Radio. I'm in my office right now, and I actually do my podcast right next door. So I got the office here next. I would show it to you, but it's a hot mess right now. I'm getting things together. But yes, so that's another thing. Now that I have my office space, I'm able to expand. So expansion is good, right? So what I plan on doing is just adding more shows. So I've already think I'm going to bring back my Thursday show because I used to do my podcast on Thursdays, which was really great. But I think I'm going to bring back my Thursday show and a Saturday and maybe a Sunday. And then I'm also the founder of the Women with Purpose Tour. And we're going to start a podcast for women entrepreneurs right here in my office. So that'll be another podcast that I'll be starting, and I'll be inviting people like Coach Shae back on, other female entrepreneurs, so we can just really sit and talk and just help each other elevate our brands.
Okay, awesome. And I know you have a lot of great guests that comes on there every week, and you're just not really just focused on one group of people. You also going into Hispanics as well. We know here in the state of Texas, we do have a large variety of Hispanics, brown people, of course they say, black and white, but more Hispanic. So how did it all come about to, just reaching out to Hispanic coaches as well?
Well, I've been studying the language for over 10 years now. It started back in 2013. I used to work at a pawn shop in Garland, Texas, and the clientele was mostly Hispanic, and I couldn't close a sale to save my life. And I'm great at sales. I'm great at closing deals, but I couldn't because there was a language barrier. So I took it upon myself, not making any excuses, enrolled in Eastfield College in Mesquite, and I just started taking Spanish classes. And then from there, it's just like, okay, I love this. I'm using it at work. I'm closing more deals. They love it. They're inviting me into the culture and into learning more about. Like, that's the one thing I love about the Hispanic culture is that once they find out that you're learning the language or that you support their culture as well, they are just as inviting as we are in our culture. So it's just been a journey as well. I still have a lot to learn, pero conozco suficiente. I know enough to carry on a conversation, especially if I can control the conversation, then yeah, I can speak Spanish all day long, but I'm still learning. So there's still a lot when it comes to me listening that I have to learn. So the podcast is specifically, like I said, for Black and Hispanic entrepreneurs, because I want to give us that platform so that our voices can be heard. And it's not that it excludes other cultures or other races. It's for us first. And I have no issue saying that. Just like Jet Magazine, Ebony, things like that, it's for us. So that's the same thing for Hidden Images podcast. It's for us.
Okay. And I want to ask you about that, Hidden Images. I mean, where did that come from, the name Hidden Images?
Well, for so long, we as Black and brown people, we just have been hidden in America, especially. A lot of us have been hiding under rocks. But as you can see now, we have a lot more Black and Hispanic entrepreneurs in higher places. Look at President Obama, him being our first Black president. That's a prime example of us finally being seen in the world as more than just what they want to classify us as, right? So Hidden Images is just letting people know that we're no longer hidden anymore, right? And of course, with the photography business, Images You Can Hold Photography, I kind of wanted everything to play off of each other. So that's why the Hidden Images podcast. So it just all kind of flows together in one funnel.
Okay. And then I know you got the tour as well. I know you're gearing up for that. So how is that coming about as well with that project?
Oh, it's coming along great. I've already started working on our flyers. The only thing that I'm working on now or need to really lock in is the event space. And once that's locked in, we're going to start hitting the ground running with promotions. Coach Shae is going to join us on the tour in March. The next tour is March 2023 in Arlington, Texas, March 19th. I haven't gotten the venue yet, but as soon as we get that rolling out, then all the information is going to be out there. But yes, I'm excited. Coach is going to be joining us on the tour next year.
I'm very, very excited, y'all. It's gonna be my first tour ever. So, and I get to publicly speak. This is like one of my dreams coming true, and I definitely want to help other people's dreams come true and inspire other people to take these type of steps and do some things you've never done before. Just like the Boudoir shoot, because I think I'm gonna try one.
Please do.
Yeah, I want to try it because even being in the fitness realm and being as fit as I am, I'm a woman and I still have certain insecurities about myself. People believe or not. You know, like even though I'm so fit and all this and my body is snatched and people, I still have my own insecurities that I deal with behind the scenes. So that would definitely be something to push me out there and, you know.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And I know you talk about that. You just brought it up again, Shae. How do you help clients get out of that issue of insecurities? How do you help them? How do you coach them in getting out of that? Because I know that's a very intimidating thing for someone to be nude in front of someone, a complete stranger, never knew, don't know the person from Adam, but the fear. Matter of fact, I guess we ourselves insecure in our own selves too, because we don't like to look ourselves in the mirror. Oh, yeah. So as you in that realm, how do you coach people out of that so they be more comfortable in themselves? I know men, women, they suffer with that. We're breaking out of that. So how do you coach them, Sabrena, out of that element of being afraid of?
Oh, well, for me with the boudoir photography, for me, it's about testimonials. If someone of a plus size wants to do a boudoir photo shoot, if I'm able to show them another plus size woman that has done it before and looks beautiful, not that she wasn't beautiful before.
Yeah.
But it's all about testimonials. If she can do it, you can do it. I've done it. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm here. I'm going to guide you through every step of the way. So I am here to help you relieve any lack of confidence, relieve any stress you may have. That's why sometimes I play music. That's really helpful at boudoir sessions. Having a friend there that you trust at the boudoir session, great. I love it. Bring your friend if that's going to help you be comfortable or not. Whatever you decide, whatever you need to make you comfortable, or drink a margarita before, I'm all for it. But testimonials for me, just being able to say, hey, look, this is what I've done. This is what we can do. Let's get it done. Let's work together. I'm going to guide you every step of the way, and you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's important because I'm looking at the comment too. Jaquan said, I was going to ask that. Even though we see ourselves in the mirror every day, how does it change them? We know Mike just had a song, Man in the Mirror. So once again, the loving ourselves, speaking life over ourselves, not judging ourselves poorly. I'm not good enough. I'm this, I look like this, I look like crap. And this is stuff that we speak over ourselves on a regular basis, something we have to break. Just staying still, look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I'm beautiful, I'm handsome, I'm gorgeous, I'm successful, I'm a winner, I'm an achiever. Stuff we have to start speaking over ourselves and being one with ourselves, communicating with ourselves. It's the most important thing, but making sure everybody can be very comfortable when they're in that setting, setting the mood right, setting the atmosphere right, so they can be woosah and be more calm with it. So that's understanding. And not only that, they don't have to feel like they by themselves. You know what I'm saying? That hey, I'm here with you. I'm coaching you along. I'm walking with you, and you don't have to take this walk by yourself. You don't have to take the journey by yourself, but I'm here with you. I'm cheering you on. I'm rooting for you, and I'm cheering for you. And that's what they need to hear. Because think about it, we already judging ourselves right here.
Yeah.
So we have to break that mindset, to break that pattern. No, hey, I'm better than this. I'm better than that. I am, like I said, I am going to win. I am going to succeed. I'm not going to live a failure life. I'm not going to live a victim life. So this stuff we have to speak over ourselves. So you have all this stuff going on. As a woman of your caliber, how do you manage? Let's talk about that. Managing everything. I know you're constantly working. You're constantly putting in the work. So how, as a woman, how do you manage your time? How do you manage things you got going on? How do you manage that in your personal opinion? I know a lot of times people ask questions, how you got time for this? How you got time for that? How do you manage that?
Well, it's a lot. There are certain things that I literally have to, make time for. Like, no, scratch that. Let me put this on my calendar. I'm going to make time for this. My calendar really does help me out. I use that a lot, putting things on there. I don't know if y'all noticed, like when we first jumped on the podcast, I was sitting here on the computer doing some stuff, replying. It's multitasking. I live a life of multitasking right now. And if it wasn't for my calendar, then I probably would miss a lot of things. So I would encourage any entrepreneur, not necessarily even entrepreneur, just even off your daily life, write things down, put it in a calendar, set yourself a reminder, set an alarm. You have to be somewhere at a certain time, or you have an interview, or like this interview, I had to set an alarm clock because I needed a nap before I took the interview. And that's one thing that I do that above anything is I'm going to get my rest. And I learned that a few years ago about getting rest, because I never used to be a nap taker, but since I started the brand, I have to take a nap. I specifically have to. I fit that in my schedule. I don't care if it's on my lunch break at work. I'm going to the car. I need a 30-minute nap, and let me rejuvenate myself and then get back to it, because I'm a supervisor on my job full time. So right now I'm just kind of multitasking. Even at work, sometimes I'm on the computer. Okay, let me take a little time to check on the brand, do some posting. Okay, let me get back to work. I'm at home, like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the computer working. So right now in the building stage, it may sound hectic, but I understand that I have to push myself harder than ever in the building stage to get it right, so that 5 years from now, all of my brands are flowing. And all I have to do is just sit back and just wait. Let the clients roll in. Let them book. Let them do what they need to do. Set up automated systems so that way I'm not always the one replying. Like it's just a matter of just closing the gaps on your brand. That way it runs itself. And so right now it's just multitasking in my calendar. That's how I keep it together.
Yeah, I understand that, because like I say, the Bible tells us we should number our days. So we number our days, we schedule out our days. Like having that structure is important. Being disciplined is important. Knowing, controlling ourselves, we controlling ourselves and not be in control, but don't be out of control. Right. And I know for me, what I do, especially, podcasting, I like working out. So I get with Shae 3 times a week, work out, make sure I eat right. That's important, because the Bible said he wants us to prosper. He wants us to prosper in our health as well. So I believe in being healthy, and especially with me being 40, and I'll be 41 in April of next year. I take my health very seriously now, because I want to be around for the long haul. Yeah. So exercise is staying hydrated, like you said, getting that rest. When I do my own personal life, I start scheduling my days, especially with me. I work overnight, of course, you know that. So I start writing stuff to myself. I just started doing that. And when I learned it from an officer, a supervisor. And when I worked with him, he scheduled out everything. He scheduled out his whole entire month. What he has to do, that. And I implemented that in my own life. Like, wow, that's interesting. So instead of coming home and going to sleep, I have to train myself. Okay, I know when I get off, I want to do this at a certain time. I want to do this at a certain time. So I have to schedule everything out because being in this arena and being in this field of ownership and stuff like that, you have to take time seriously because we only got 24 hours within the day.
Yeah.
So we don't want to waste no time. And that's another thing. You don't want to waste time, and you don't want nobody to waste your time either.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so
One of my friends, he was saying that he asked his father a similar question, because his father is a pastor, of course, the father of maybe 4 kids, husband, all kind of things he has going on. So he's like, I asked my father, how do you maintain it all? And he said his father was like, I just stick to what's on my schedule. If it's not on my schedule, it's not important, and I don't do it. If I have to be somewhere at 3, I'm there at 3 in between, whatever. But that's just what he said is I stuck to my schedule and didn't deviate from it. And something like that, it makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Because I think that sometimes where I get, a little discombobulated is, okay, well, trying to fit other things in. No, I can't fit it in today, but I can fit it in next week. Is that okay? So it's just about balancing things, being able to say no to certain things. I can't do it now, but I can on this day. I have time available here. Let me check my schedule, even if it's a month from now, even with the podcast, I'm booked up. So now yes, I'm booking in January. So not this month, but okay, we got time next month. Are you available?
Right.
So
yeah, so like I said, that stuff plays role. So having structure,
yeah,
have everything all mapped out is good. Cause like I said, you know where you're going, you know where you're heading, and you just don't want to be all over the place with this thing. But hey, I'm gonna have to make this thing work and have structure, and that's what it's all about. What time do you start on average? What time do you start your day? I know a lot of great leaders and those that's in the business world, they don't believe in sleeping in late. If they wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, they feel like that's a waste. You got some who get up at 3 o'clock because I don't know me. I just be up. I can sleep for a little while and I get right back up. And a lot of
that's
times,
me, Hartman. That's me. There's no time. Like I sleep for a little while, then I'm up on the computer. I may fall asleep at 10. I know my body's gonna wake me up. I'm guaranteed to wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. My body is already in that mode.
right.
So 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm up. I'm on the computer. I may lay back down about 6 or 7. I'm up, another couple hours later, either at work or back on the computer doing what I do, because everything I do revolves around the computer. Me sitting behind the desk and just typing and reaching out to people all day. But yeah, it's rest, work, rest to work. There, I'm not really on I'm up by 7 o'clock every morning like this. No, it's just as long as I get my rest in between, I'm good.
Yeah, and I said that because I said I like early morning workouts. I like start my workout early in the morning because that's the best time for me. I don't like me personally. I do not like late night workouts. I don't because it seems like a waste. Some people like that, but I prefer early in the morning. What you say, Shae?
If you're a person that suffers from insomnia, working out late at night will help you get sleep.
Mm-hmm. Because it's gonna tire you out.
Yeah. Because when I first started working out, I suffered from insomnia, so I would work out at night, and it would help me great.
Yeah.
And then when my schedule changed and I had to turn into an early morning person, like hitting the gym by 6 in the morning, then it was different, But if I could choose, I don't know. I guess since I like working out, it don't matter what time of day. As long as I get it done. The only bad thing is if I don't do it at all. So, so as long as I get it done
on that level,
at night, I don't have a preference. But when it comes to time, I mean, I'm usually up by 6:30, but it was a point in time where I was making it a thing to be up at least by 5 because, I'm a mom. So that's kind of like my time to get my life in order, map out my day, figure out what I'm gonna do, pick out their clothes if I don't do that the night before. But I did make it a thing where I would be up before the whole house. Like I would be up before everybody. So I think like really in the entrepreneur space or like in the health, like if you on a wellness journey, any type of journey, you gotta choose what you're gonna sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right? Like you might have to sacrifice some time. You might have to sacrifice some sleep. You might have to sacrifice, certain things. So you gotta choose like, okay, what I'm gonna sacrifice today. Okay, today I might sacrifice a little sleep. I might sleep a little late, or I might wake up a little earlier than usual so I can get more time into the day. Because if you wake up earlier, you'll have more time within your day. A lot of people feel like 4 hours isn't enough time, but we really do have enough time. We wake up early enough to get things done.
Well, yeah,
Right.
some people start their day like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, because they value time. Because they'll tell you we only got 24 hours within the day, and some like if you wake up at 7 o'clock, they don't like that. That's half the day.
That's late to a lot of people, especially like I've heard Corby like talk about it a lot and say like by 7, the stock market rolling already. Like you done
It
missed
is.
your, so definitely I'm a morning person. I get up my thing and I'm pretty much rolling for the rest of the day. Like when I shut down, I'm out of there. Now these days I go to bed about 10:30ish, 11 o'clock. I try to go to bed because my window's so short. Get about 5 hours of sleep. That's it. I don't know. The last time I got 8 hours is extended.
But long you get that rest. But like I said, just managing everything, having everything structured, and especially when you're on that go, you know where you're going, where you're heading, and you know it takes the work you have to put in work. Anything you do in life, it takes work, and it takes getting out your comfort zone. It takes you from getting from the I do into the I am. That's what we want to get more into. We want to get more into the I am and operate in the I am. And that's where we want to go in life. And I know it's a lot of great things as well that we're looking forward to. And I know you're looking forward to a lot of great things as well. So how can people catch the podcast? I know you do it on Mondays. So how can people plug in? How can they get involved? And most importantly, how can they become a guest on the show or your show as well?
Well, you can catch the podcast again every Monday between 12 and 2 p.m. on Next Level Internet Radio Station. You can go to the Play Store and Google Next Level Internet Radio and download our app, and you can listen to it just right there on our app. You can also catch the replays of the podcast because we stream on air on my YouTube channel, Hidden Images Podcast. You can go there. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. And you can catch again the replays on there, short clips and things like that. I also go live on my Facebook. I was going live from my personal page, but I'm transitioning to my business page. Okay. So just Google Hidden Images Podcast, get on Facebook, search bar Hidden Images Podcast, and you'll catch me on Mondays, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on my podcast page there. What was the other question?
How can people come into the show?
Thank you, Furman. Just hit me up. If you want to be a guest, just hit me up. You can hit me up on any of my platforms if you want to be a guest. You can send me an email, Hidden Images Podcast, Sabrena Ford 86@gmail.com. Sabrena Ford on my personal page, Hidden Images Podcast on Instagram, even on TikTok. I'm starting to do more stuff on TikTok. I'm not really a TikTok person, but you have to be. Got to follow along with the trends and the times. So I do have Hidden Images TikTok, and I've been sharing a few things there, but I need to start doing more lives on my TikTok and just showing up there as well on that platform. But yeah, Hidden Images Podcast. Any of my, all of my brands, if you put them in Google, I'm going to pop right up. So Women with Purpose Tour, Hidden Images Podcast, Images You Can Hold Photography, Boudoir. Google it. I'm going to pop right on it.
Awesome. And also, like I say, you got everything going, and that's a good thing, and that's a great thing. It's a positive thing. And I mean, hey, you got to put in the work in order to be successful. You really do. Like I read earlier, don't let nobody stop you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody stop
Exactly.
you. If you let somebody stop you, because you allow them to, so you never let nobody stop you. Like I said, and I say it all the time, we're constantly evolving. So
Yep.
it's gonna be a new us tomorrow. We haven't met the new us yet, but when we get up, it's gonna be a new us tomorrow. So we
Yep.
constantly involve. So constantly involve, constantly learn. Another thing, self-educate yourself. I seen a slogan one day. It says, formal education helps us sustain a living, but self-education brings on a fortune. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like reading that earlier, grow, self-educate yourself, get on the internet, do some research, learn different things, self-educate yourself. There's so much wealth of knowledge out there in the world. You have to go out there and get it. You have to
Oh,
grab it.
yeah.
You have to read. I love reading. To me, I tell you, and I tell anybody, the best date to go on is a bookstore. That's just
Mhm.
me. Go, let's go.
Don't take me to a bookstore. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm saying that's the best day
No,
to me.
I'm
That
kidding. I
because
get it. I get
yeah,
it.
because
No,
let's
you're
go. Hey, let's go read some books. Let's go learn some stuff. Read books on
right.
leadership. Definitely listen on
Catch
business.
me. You catch me in the audiobook section.
Yeah, that I just like stuff like that because that's the bit. Because I seen this slogan. It's some years ago. It was like people only live for the weekend. You got certain people that only live for the weekend. You got certain people who's working on building generational wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to be one of those ones who damn living for the weekend. Let's
Right.
focus on building generational wealth. The Bible says a good man leaves his inheritance for his children. That's something I take serious too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my future. I'm thinking about my legacy because that's important to me as a man.
Yeah.
Is my legacy being prepared? Because as a man, the man is a provider. Being a man is being set up not just financially wise, but the care, the wisdom that comes along with it, the knowledge that comes along with it, the integrity that comes along with it, the work ethic that comes along with it, being consistent as well, maintaining good character, values, morals, and stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not one of the ones who want to live for the weekend. Big shout out to those who like that kind of stuff. But when you know when you're building something, that stuff don't even phase you no more. I remember one of my
Yep.
best friends said back at home, you gotta know the season that God got you in. The Bible says there's a time to build, there's a time to plant, it's a time for everything. You gotta know where you at in life. You have to make sacrifices. Everybody want to go clubbing. I ain't nobody got time for clubbing. Right
Yeah.
now, I'm working on something. I'm building
Yep.
something. I'm putting in work right now. I'm budgeting out everything. I gotta go. Because nobody's not gonna do this stuff for us. Nobody's gonna knock on your front door and say, "Hey, I want you to get your life together." You have
Right.
to make things work for yourself.
Mhm.
It's not gonna fall out the sky unless you're gonna be one of that 2% that's gonna stay blind, dumb, and into stupidity.
Yeah.
Nobody got time for that. I sure don't. Who
Yeah.
has
You're
time for that?
absolutely right.
And
It's funny that you say that because on the Women with Purpose tour Dallas, that was pretty much what I spoke about. I mean, I spoke about marketing and advertising, but one of the things I said was that success doesn't come knock on your door. You have to get out there and create your own success. You have to create the life that you want to live,
right,
and that might mean stepping out of your comfort zone. Actually, that means stepping out of your comfort zone, and it means, like you said, sacrificing going to the club, sacrificing certain friends. I'm sorry, friend, we just not on the same wavelength no more. I'm going this direction in life. You still way back here. I can't carry you along in my next chapter, in my next journey.
right,
So, yeah, like you say, whatever life that you want, whatever life that you dream about, you can manifest it, you can create it. And it's just all about stepping out of your comfort zone and creating the life,
right.
not letting anything stop you. And the main thing that stops most of us from creating the life that we want to live is fear, the
Mm-hmm.
fear of failure. That's okay to have that. It's okay to fail, but what's not okay is to stay down, is to stay a failure. get up. Sometimes failing it's just your learning stage,
Right.
like the stepping stone. Like everything that I've done hasn't been perfect. I've had to go back to the drawing board a few times with my brand. Few times. I've
Right.
started with one logo, now I have a different logo. So it's okay, to start and then, okay, let me go fix this because I missed this along the way. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
creating the life I want to live, but I'm not missing any steps along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you have to create the life you want to live, manifest it, build it, dream it, live it, and don't be afraid.
You got to, because if you look at, okay, if you're into sports, where you play basketball, football, whatever, okay, they always have something where they have film.
Yeah,
After each game, and the next day, they watch game film.
yeah,
They watch what they did wrong. They watch what they did right. But most important, they focus on the wrong. Okay, we have
yeah,
to critique this. So we have to have our own game footage in our minds. We have to replay. We have to replay what happened that day. Okay, how could I do this better? I
yeah,
could have handled this thing better. Okay, make sure I don't do that again. So we always got to constantly critique ourselves
yeah.
on a regular basis. So we should always develop that game film so we can always go back and look at what we done.
Berman, I love you're so funny, Berman. You're gonna relate everything to football. I love it.
Because that stuff, yeah, because if you look at it, because that stuff plays a role, it does. You have to,
Yeah,
and
I love
and
it.
because that's something we never did in our personal lives. We
Yeah,
have to apply this stuff. Okay, mission statement. We gotta learn how to have mission statement. We gotta have laws
right,
in place. This stuff we can have in our personal life. It's not just okay, in
right.
your
Fact.
organization, you have laws and understand it. But in your personal life, you have to have laws. You have to have a mission
Yeah,
statement. All that stuff determines it shows who you are as a woman, as an individual. So, I mean, we have to take this stuff seriously. Take life serious. Take our time seriously. Take us seriously, and don't play around. Don't play Russian roulette with our lives. But yeah, we have to look at that game film. I know we pressed for time, so
yeah. I'm
Sabrina, you
getting
have
up there, Berman. Tengo mucho hambre ahora.
all right. So go ahead.
I'm,
You have
I'm,
any? Well, you have any? Well, I'm going to let you go. So you have any final remarks for the listening audience here on tonight's show?
you know what? Whatever you manifest, you can create it. I'm a living testimony. I'm only 2 years, a little over 2 years into my brand. And everything that I have manifested over the last 2 years of starting it is coming into play. The people I'm meeting, people like you, Fermi, meeting Super Bowl champion Tony Hills, working for social media influencer, another Dallas, Texas chick right now. Like she's one of the biggest influencers here in Dallas, and I'm her assistant, right? So you can create the life you want to live. You can manifest it, you can dream it, and you can live it. You
Yeah.
just have to not be afraid, step out of your comfort zone and just do it.
Yeah, that's it. Like Nike, just do it. So we thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Of course, big shout out to those in the comment section. Big shout out to everybody who shared and liked and commented, of course. And we're gonna be back here tomorrow night, same time. And like I said, I will be doing another show Saturday in January 2023, taking it to another level. So it will be a Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Saturday show. So taking it to another level. So that's going to be kicking off next year. So I want you to have a great night. And also, before I get off the air, remember the graveyard. Everybody had one thing in common. They thought they were going to see tomorrow, and they didn't. So let's live life like it's our last. And most importantly, before you go to bed tonight, pour your favorite wine, drink, whatever you drink. Toast yourself. Tell yourself I'm proud of you. Tell yourself I love you. Tell yourself I got your back. Tell yourself we're going to make it. Tell yourself we're going to be great. Tell yourself I'm awesome. Tell yourself these things. Tell yourself I am a king. Tell yourself I'm a queen. Tell yourself I'm a warrior. Tell yourself I'm a God. Tell yourself these things and watch the manifestation take place in your life. You have to believe it for yourself. Nobody's not going to believe it but you. Like the Bible said, David had to encourage himself. A lot of times you have to encourage yourself and don't want nobody else to do it. Y'all have a great night. I'll be back with y'all tomorrow night here on Walking This Way Impact Boys Podcast. Till then, focus, set your goals. Remember, we already in November. What you doing? Is you right where you want to be at, or are you just wishing upon a star? The ball is in your court. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
Bye.